What's going on? I made this 4-bolt main cap for this 350 diesel Oldsmobile, and I thought it was pretty cool, so I thought I'd give you a video and show you how I made it. Yes, that's rough cut out. I rough cut this thing out with a torch, and then a garage shade tree mechanic, whatever you want to call it, made it with a little mill that I made that I'll show you. So I made this little mill. I already had this spindle motor for another project I did, using that to grind or mill or machine semi-truck wheels to accept street tires on this Excursion. Why? Because I thought it was cool. I made it into a dually using adapters. Made my own adapters. That's in another video. But anyway, that's the whole nother story. But this story, the whole background on this is I work turbine outages and power plant outages, and so I have a lot of free time in the summer. And I got to thinking, you know what, man? I've seen 4-bolt mains and a lot of different motors. That's a big block old. But I've never seen them make them for one of these. More small block. Oh, of course they might do it, but they're like abnormally, stupidly expensive. So with my free time and my enjoyment of making things and doing things myself, I thought, what the hell? What is it going to hurt? So I pinned right here just for location. Probably doesn't need it, but I did it anyway because whatever. With these dowel pins. So I thought, heck, I can probably use this spindle motor and make my own. Not really doing anything but screwing around, so heck, let's give it a try. Now you might think, oh, that thing flexes, it's not a precision thing. Well, you're right. You're mostly right, but it will stay precision, and I can prove it. And even though you'll say, oh, that's not precision, it's just a piece of crap, square, but oops, it's pretty dang square. The top and the bottom. See there? See there? So that's definitely close enough. Now, I've already done this thing, and I thought about doing some videos when I was doing it, but I kind of was in the moment, and I just said, you know what, screw it. But I can show you. So I got this thing in square as much as possible. What happens is I'm gonna turn it on, but I'm not gonna mill it because it's already done. So I got my Vevor spindle motor. Got this. And no, did not do it without clamping it down. You just hold it just fine. You can go back and forth here like this. And it worked great. I was actually very surprised at how good it worked. Now I had to adjust this thing. I made a few cuts, see where it was cutting, and then had to adjust this. I could tilt this piece by just loosening the bolts and tapping it around until it got square. So you might be saying, oh, that's not going to work, or it's not precision enough. Well, that's going to be line honed to begin with. And yes, I know these have 3-inch mains. I'm going to be using, I want to use a 330 small block steel crank, which I have. I have a 425 crank that's ready to go, but I don't want to cut it down because I want to use it in that 425 block. But I can assure you this thing is dead on right because I've already put it on there. Only way it made one mistake, which wasn't really a mistake. I'm going to put 3/8 ARPs in these holes, and I drilled it 3/8 to begin with. Now, if you know anything about mechanics, 3/8 16 gets drilled 5/16 for tapping. I wish I would have drilled that hole 5/16 to begin with, so I could have used it as a guide. So I had to put this shim in the hole to hold the drill bit tight to get it going, and it worked fine. I actually drilled my holes on this drill press without that handheld drill there. And you can also say, oh, that's not a precision drill, it's just a shop drill, or a, well, yeah, you're right about that too. I don't have a milling machine, I don't have all that stuff. I'd love to have it, but I don't. But again, this is just a project, and I really couldn't care less either way. But I think it'll work. I will not be afraid to use this, and I will not be afraid to use those caps. So I made sure the base was level. I drilled my holes straight up and down. Now, you know, if you drill a long distance with drills, you have a tendency, it'll be centered where you started, but if you go all the way through, it could get kicked off to the side. Yeah, I know that. So I drilled halfway through. I marked my lines where it's supposed to come out, drilled the other half, and they went straight through. Absolutely no problem. On these, on the angle, I just angled it up, ran my drill press down, got it parallel with that line, no problem. Same way on the other side. Now let's see if it'll fit. There we go. These are just the factory bolts. I will be using ARPs, of course. Studs. These are factory 1/2" bolts. No, I'm not going to torque them because we're just checking for fit. That's tight enough. Alright, feeler gauge. This is 2 thousandths. Sorry about my finger in the way. Let's see if you can see that. Okay. Nope. Nope. And I could probably use a 1, but you're splitting hairs. This is good. It's not even torqued yet. Now let's see if my bolt holes drilled straight in like they're supposed to. No, this is not a ARP bolt, it's a 3/8 bolt, just for checking. I wanted these holes very tight. Those other ones, so that one goes. The other one's got clearance. These I wanted tight. You got a guide there, so let's see if this one goes. Yep. It's a little tight, but we'll get it. Yep. I just tapped it a few minutes ago. It's not really even clean, but it's going to go. And if we have to just massage it just a little, we will. So there you go. In good shape. Now under here, there's a lot of clearance. I will be putting, I'm not sure if I'm gonna grind those out and weld them up level to that, or if I just put a washer or something under there to take up the clearance. I'm not sure. But that'll work. We'll get it, I'll massage that big hole out. They make spacers. No, Oldsmobile Performance makes spacers for these, so you can put a small block crank in it, and we'll. This is just something I'm playing with, man. It's no big deal. If it doesn't work out, whatever. But I mean, it looks like it will. Anyway, I'll probably make the rest of them at a later date. I was just fooling around the last couple of weeks, off and on. I think in all, that piece of metal was $6, and 2 drill bits were like $5 a piece. So I've got like $15 in doing this. Yeah, and you might say, yeah, you had to buy the spindle motor and that slide, compound rest. I had to buy that. Well, I already had that. I had that for when I did the rims 3 or 4 years ago, and because I couldn't even get anybody to machine them, so I did it myself, and it works fine. And I drive the truck once in a while. Anyway, that's about that. Just didn't know if anybody thought that'd be cool or knew where you could buy them. I don't think you could buy those, especially for one of these. Anyway, I've rambled on enough. Thanks.